How much does it help having so much experience back this season?
It's always good when you get into the spring and you feel like your depth is where you want it to be. We got a good group of seniors coming back that have played a lot of football for us. I thought those guys have done a good job taking the younger guys in. They've really raised the bar on what we're trying to do. And ultimately, being the leaders of the offense that we want them to be. And I think that we're taking the right steps right now.
So what are you doing this spring? I mean, you've got a veteran group back.
Yeah, we're actually putting as many different combinations together as we can. We do have all of our starters back from last season, but for me, I want to figure out our depth and how many guys can we trust to put in the game. So I want to see different guys position moves, whether it be the right side or left side moving. We moved Kniffel out to tackle this week with Bryce being dinged up, but putting as many guys around with the different groups, making them communicate, making them play next to each other, so that if something did happen, they would be able to come in and help us right away.
I know the question's probably more pertinent in the fall, but how deep do you think you are? I know sometimes you or Coach Campbell talked about wanting to get at least 8 guys that could step on and go.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to tell right now. Probably as deep as we've been since we've been here, and as with having all 5 back up with the first group, it's hard to say. I'd say we could probably rotate 8 right now and feel pretty good about it today. For sure, come next fall.
Is Bryce just a minor thing where he'll be back this spring still, or?
Yeah, and it'll be week to week. We're not rushing him back. It'll be a deal where, based on how he feels, but we're in no rush with him.
I think the first practice we got to see, the second unit came in, and I think it was Downing and Ramos and Hudson were out there, all young guys. How do you feel about some of those young guys and how they've come along in the last year? Yeah, I think the last fall was really big for those guys. We were scrimmaging them during the week a couple times and all the way throughout. So they made a lot of growth, and I thought that that group really approached the winter the right way, and it's giving them a chance to really be productive for us right now. But those guys are stepping up. Those young pups have jumped right in with that 2 group and have done nothing but impressed so far.
Just hearing how good they looked all throughout last season, especially late in the fall, how much, in addition to having experience back, is having them be almost game ready, push those guys to another level, your experienced guys? Yeah,
I think that's the biggest difference going forward. With that depth, it breeds competition. And yeah, we do have a lot of guys returning, but of those 5, each one of them's got to earn their spot again. And what that's doing right now, being able to plug guys in with no fall off, is pushing that first group. But ultimately, they're doing a great job setting the tone. And they're being really physical. They're really controlling and running that group up front.
Where do Downing and Ramos fit into things right now?
Well, Downing played right last year. We moved him over to left guard to start. And then with moving Kniffel off the tackle, we swung him back over to right. And then Ramos, I think he's got very similar flexibility. He's played both sides so far. We've slotted him at left right now, but I don't think it would be tough for him to flip over to right if we needed him to.
How do you keep them veteran group, you're 5 guys, 8 guys, whatever it is, motivated in the spring when you know that, okay, there's going to be another 3 weeks and they're done, and then come back and do it all over again in the fall? I mean, how do you keep these guys motivated? Because they know I know you said that they still have to earn their spots, but yeah, 99% chance they're going to be starting.
Yeah.
But how do they stay motivated this spring?
Yeah, and I think what you see is these guys they're self-starters. It's not coming from myself or Coach Campbell or really Coach Manning. It's, but I think ultimately the easiest way to put it is 8 and 5 is not good enough. And, I think a little bit, we made great strides last year up front, but we didn't reach our ultimate goal. And they know that every day counts from here on out, that the clock is ticking for them. They don't have the following season to look forward to. It's go time, and it's now or never to reach their goal.
Are Ramos and Downing in that 8 that you had mentioned that you kind of feel comfortable with?
I think, to be honest, all those guys that are running with the second group right now would be fine if we plugged them in. And I feel confident saying that, looking forward to next fall.
Obviously, there were a lot of high hopes for both those 2. Just what expectation do you have for them heading into this season, and just what kind of roles do you see them both possibly playing?
Hard to tell now. We haven't put a ton of, we haven't really done any goal line, short yardage personnelling yet. But my goal for those guys is to contribute, is to find a role in the team and to help us. that's what we brought them here to do. Yeah, they were highly decorated recruits, but you throw them in there with that veteran group, and I think really where they made a lot of growth was running in the 2 deep during the season. Making the travel squad, being in those game planning meetings, really gave them a leg up heading into the spring.
How